loves, welcome back to my channel. So today's video we are going to be talking all about the 2026 things that I had picked out for myself, and hopefully you might find some inspiration behind a lot of these things. So let's get started. First of all, happy holidays to everyone. I chose not to do Plan Miss or whatever because, well, I can't even commit to a video a week, and that has been really hard. So, and then I don't have a lot of things that I film anyway, and I don't think that you guys would want to see me film something every single day because it probably would be boring. So yeah, we're just gonna do our random videos that I upload at least once every week or once every 2 weeks. So yeah. Like I said, today we're going to be talking about the 2026 stuff. It's snowing here in Maryland, and we may or may not step out. Depends. We do have a family trip that is coming up at the end of this month, so we'll see how that goes. But today is a snowy day for sure. It's a very wintry day. So I've got my tea. I'm like really addicted to black tea with creamer in it. So I've got my tea and I made myself some oatmeal, and I'll go get that in a little bit. But while that's like doing its thing, I figured we would sit down and we would have this 2026 conversation. Now, honestly, I will say that I debated heavily on whether or not I was going to do a video like this, because I don't like these New Year lineups. I don't like them. And I used to do them like back 2018, 2019, 2020. But I like, as the years have gone on, I just realized that I don't really care for them and I don't really like them as much. So here's my take on it, of just showing you like what I'm thinking, what I'm going to be using. So first things first, let's go over some things that we did use for 2025. So you all know my beloved Traveler's Notebook. This should not come as a surprise to any of you. If you know, then you know. These are some of the most viewed videos on my channel, is when I use the standard Traveler's Notebook. What I will say is that I was really happy with the size of the standard Traveler's Notebook, which took me back because I remember when I first got into Traveler's Notebooks, I started out in a Passport and then I moved over into a standard, and I really loved it. But I've gotten away from that, and then when I went back to it this year, I also discovered that I just really enjoy the size. It's portable. It's still like enough space to get a lot of things done, but I don't feel like it's just too much space. And I really liked my setup that I had going on with using the 500, I don't even remember, 517, I think it was supposed to be 520 page sterling ink notebook in N1. I don't know if my camera is too, I can never tell. But anyways, I really enjoyed this, and I really also enjoyed using the Just Scribble notebooks. Now, these particular ones, I saw she didn't have them on her site anymore, or they're sold out on her site, but she has new ones, and it is, I believe it's not the Tomoe River paper. I believe it's something else. I didn't purchase anything yet from her shop because I still have quite a few of these blue Traveler's Notebooks from her that I just want to get through before I use anything new. And I also didn't get the Just Scribbles planner this year. I personally don't do well with pre-orders because I'm that kind of person. Like, I get antsy. I want the things now. And I had high anxiety when I ordered my Hemlock and Oak planner 2 years ago. And yeah, I don't do well in pre-order, so I didn't get anything from her. And I don't know, who knows? I might decide to try it at some point in time, but I'm not pressed. I'm fine using the notebooks. I like the notebooks because they're open and I can do whatever I want with them. But anyway, I really enjoyed this system this year. I had turned one into a weekly, so I have my weekly, I have my monthly, and then I have the weeks in the back, and it was just supposed to be for the entire second half of the year. So I really enjoyed this layout. This is a layout that really works well for me. I know a lot of people, you might be hearing my son throwing his little fits. Lately he's been fussy, like really, really fussy. It's been so annoying, but yeah, Ashton's being Ashton. But yeah, I know a lot of people might say this is equivalent to the Hobonichi weeks, but personally, I just don't like, I don't know what it is. Like, I like the layout of the Hobonichi weeks, like the week, the months, and then the weeks, and then the notes pages, but I don't like the Hobonichi weeks, if that makes sense. Like, y'all, is you catching me? Like, I don't like the planner necessarily. I don't know if it's the size, I don't know if it's the cream paper, I don't know if it's the quotes. The quotes I didn't care for. I felt like that was wasted space. I don't know, I just didn't vibe with it, but I like this clean look a lot. And so yeah, I didn't really care the fact that I had these split up like this. I have a bad problem with archiving things. I've gotten this question before. I have a really bad problem with archiving things together. At some point in time, things just kind of, they go off into their own little spaces, and then I lose things because I'm not one who really cares to archive a lot of things. I usually throw, unless they're journals, unless there's something that I want to keep in there, then I usually, I'm a lot better with upkeeping the archival system. But for the most part, if it's just planning, I don't do too well with holding on to that. So I don't know. I personally didn't care to have them in separate books. I did like this system, and I thought that it was just genius that I could make this very modular system anything I wanted. And I did really enjoy, surprisingly, and I only use ballpoint pens, so I'm speaking from a perspective of someone who uses mainly ballpoint pen ink. I really did enjoy the N1 notebook. Now, I did go back to try to get the N1 notebook and try to recreate the same system that I had for my traveler's notebook, but this was not available at the time that I was trying to get it, and that frustrated me. And also I was a little antsy about what I wanted to use and all that good stuff. So out of shits and giggles, I decided that, okay, well, it was established that, you know, I finally got my hands on a what is this? A N1 Sterling ink notebook. I finally got my hands on this, and I was intrigued about the Common Planner. And so, with all due respect to the woman, I do enjoy her things. So this year I decided to recreate my N1 bullet journal, and I decided to use this. Now, this was not original to what I had plans for myself this year. I actually have two other things that I'm really excited to share with you, and we'll get to them, I promise. But I had envisioned going into this for the new year. I didn't want, I was debating heavily at first whether or not I wanted to go back into rings and whether or not I wanted to use the day timer stuff again. The day timer stuff is really expensive. Like the day on 2-page inserts were like $64, and then the Kathy Davis weeklies were another $35, and then the notes were like $15, and it was a lot. It was a lot for a planner system, and it was not something that I was willing to pay this year around. And I really love their stuff, and they messaged me like several times to get me to repurchase, but this year I was just like, you know what, let's just keep it simple. I am not a rings person. Let's just agree to agree that I'm not a rings person, despite how people feel about me being in rings. I think I thrive better in notebooks. So this is a Wanderings Traveler's Notebook. Comfortably, it can fit this thicker notebook and one of these blue notebooks pretty easily. It can fit. But this one is rather floppy. Okay, it's rather floppy and it moves around a lot. So it needs structure in order to stay, taut like this. So all I did was I restrung it for this time around, put my pen loop on it because I don't like those little leather pen clips. I don't like those. I just don't like those. And I restrung it in a way that I could at least have 4 elastics. So yeah, if you watched my TN setup, my TN project or whatever, you'll see I strung it a bunch of times. I did the same thing with this because this is a lot thinner string, so I could do that. And that allows me to have multiple strings without puncturing more holes or, using a bunch of jump bands. So, yeah, I have this. And then, voila. So this year I decided that I wanted to finally try the Common Planner. You might have heard me slip up when I mentioned it. But, yeah, this year I decided I wanted to try the Common Planner. I really enjoyed the N1 notebook. I really enjoy that Hobonichi style where it's just like the week and then the notes and then the days and the months up front. I like that. I do prefer to have the months, then the weeks, then the days. But the way my mind also works is that sometimes I don't like to use the days. Sometimes I don't want to use the day. And so if I have a bunch of blankness in between, it's going to give me high anxiety. I don't know why that is, but it does. So I like the layout in here a lot better. I also like my weeks to be open. I don't like a bunch of trackers and stuff within that weekly spread. I like to have just the week and then just decide for whatever I want to make it, whether I want to make it a tracker or notes or whatever. I like that. So I decided to go with the horizontal, and I was surprised because I was like, this is just like the Hobonichi weeks, only it's a lot better because it didn't have all the frills that the Hobonichi weeks has. So I decided to go with this, and I was like, okay, cool. I don't know how to use any of these gold breakdown pages and this yearly tracker. I've never used a tracker like this, so I'm not really sure. I was currently thinking maybe instead of putting my reading and tracking my reading progress and also my Peloton progress, instead of tracking them on little calendars that I had used this year. A lot of you thought they were trackers. They were just calendars that I had sized down. But instead of doing that, I was thinking maybe I could do it here and, it would all be in one happy little place. I do like the quarterly breakdown. I love this because if there's something that you're working on, this is perfect. I love it broken down in these quarters like this. And don't get me wrong, I compared a lot of planners. I watched a lot of stuff before I decided to even do this because I was very, very, very strict on I didn't want to purchase anything for this year, but I at least needed one thing that was dated. I needed something that was dated. I do plan on homeschooling my son this coming year. So I needed one thing that was dated. And also, as much as I love my bullet journals and stuff, I don't like to set them up. The setup process pulls me away from them because it just becomes too much when you have to think about how many pages you need for a particular spread. You have to think, there's mental math with it sometimes, and sometimes it's just too much for me. So I like the ease of, it's still somewhat like a bullet journal, but all the spreads are done. So I originally wanted to go with the Wonderland 222 all-in-one, and I wanted to go in a B6 size, but I don't know. I haven't completely sold myself on everything. I always say that if I don't end up using it, either I will sell the N1. I don't even know if people will want it after I've strung it, because I'm not gentle with that, but I will either give away the N1 or I will give it to my mom, or whatever the case may be, if I don't actually end up using it. But so far I do like it. So yeah, I like this. I like this clean. It's very clean. And then I like the fact that the back of the page, or the back of the book rather, all the pages are numbered. That's nice. That's really nice. So yeah, this is one thing that I decided that I would do for 2026. And so I would have my Undated thing along with these 2 just scribble notebooks, and I had decided maybe I can make one like my food log and like one miscellaneous things and whatnot, because I don't know, I haven't quite decided what I want to do with these, but I want them here. Yeah, I want them here. So I don't really know what I'm gonna do in terms of like the planning aspect yet, what their purposes will be, but I love them and I want them here. I kind of wish they were black though. I like the blue color, but I kind of wish they were black just to fit the theme. But nonetheless, I love it. I did have a zipper pouch. I purchased a zipper pouch from Wanderings. This is the Wanderings zipper pouch. I know we're all familiar with Moterm, and Moterm is very popular. This one I saw, and it was very brand new. It's supposed to be 100% cotton. It does feel a lot better than the Moterm ones, but I will say that there is a stiffener in here, so it is not as, you can hear the stiffener, you can feel it rather, and you can kind of hear it, but this one is not as flimsy or flexible as the Moterm, so this one is definitely more taut. This pocket also has a Velcro like closure, and also it's finished on the inside with like some little satin. It's not perfect. I don't know. I'll pull it up so you can see. It's not perfect in terms of construction, but it will get you where you need to be. There is a pocket on the inside, so you have 3 card slots, and you have a secretarial pocket here. I kind of just wish they would have just not put the secretarial pocket there. It's kind of weird, but you have a secretarial pocket, and then you have your zipper pocket, which is also lined with that like red burgundy velvet. I bought this to go inside the, oh, it's also lined in here too. And also in here, but it's really hard for you to see. But I bought this to go with the Wanderings Traveler's Notebook. Originally, I was gonna put this and, I don't know, my pens and stuff in here or whatever. But I personally just don't like the way it looks up against this red, because it's not the same red. It's a little darker. I don't know. I'm still playing around with this. But I didn't personally like it in here. Also, I didn't like how much it stuck out when I strung it. And I don't know. Here, let's see. I didn't care for it, how much it strung. Like, it does go around one insert perfectly fine, but I don't like how bulky. Obviously, this is way, way, way overstuffed. So obviously one notebook would have to come out. But like, just so you get the gist of like, I didn't like how it looked. I'll probably still play around with it. It's not, like, the setup is not completely set in stone yet. It's still being worked. And like I said, this leather is incredibly floppy. Like, it's really floppy. Like, you see how it moves, it's really, really floppy. So I feel like you always have to keep straightening it to get it back together again. But I don't know. This setup isn't completely set in stone. It's still being worked. And so when I finally finish what I'm going to do, we'll talk about that. Let me see if my tea is cooled off. Perfect. I don't put sugar in it. I'm not supposed to have sugar anyway. So yeah, to that. Some new things that I wanted to share with you guys, because I know a lot of you are like, can we get there already? Okay, fine, we'll get there. So the original planners that I was thinking, and this is why I feel some way about the common planner, is because I got these two planners here. Originally, I got this top one first. I was in Barnes and Nobles. Camera isn't picking up the colors as well, but I was in Barnes and Nobles and I was just book shopping, regular book shopping, and I always go over to the planner and journal area. I always go over there and just look, and I always leave with something stationary because I like to use my $5 off. I save them and I like to use them on stationery because they're so expensive and I get them relatively cheaper when I use the money off. But I saw these and I thought, how unique. So I mentioned earlier that I don't really enjoy planning as much. I don't like that everyone is using the same thing, doing the same thing. It feels very repetitive and not as fun. And yeah, so I was looking for something that would inspire me to, one, stay productive, but also to just be a little bit different and, you know, not so confined into the same category as everyone else. And so I saw these and I had to get it. So I actually purchased this one from Barnes & Noble. So I have two of these, and then I ordered these ones from the website. So I think what I'm going to do is gift one, and then I'm going to keep one. So yeah, I wanted to share these with you. So these are two Undated planners, and they are from the company Brass Monkey Co. And they look just like beautiful books. They are linen. So I'll give you a close-up of this one. It is linen, and then it is debossed or embossed, I don't know, so there's some texture over these words. There's some texture here and around, and it's a thick one. It's a thick book. It is paperback cover, and then the inside is beautiful. I love the inside. So it's just like a nice little, and it's like that on the back as well. Obviously I have the belly band, and then the branding is on here. Let's see if I can take it off just for video's sake. The branding is on here. Oof, I kind of don't want to rip this belly band. Just want to slide it off if it'll let me. Maybe not. So let's just take it off. Okay. There. Brass Monkey Co. And it says proudly designed in the Upper West Side of Kansas City. So there. And it just looks like a book. And sitting on your shelf, this would be a really pretty book to sit on your shelf and to use. I really like it. Let me check my husband really quick because I think he has to go get the car. So let me just check really quick. All right, so I had to step away really quick because I wanted to make sure that I wasn't interfering with getting the car picked up from getting the oil changed and all that stuff. Because my husband will have to walk back and it's right down the street. But what I was saying about this is that it's a really pretty book and it looks like a regular smegular book just sitting on a shelf, but it is so pretty. And then I picked up this second book, which also says The Daily Planner. And then it says big plans, and this one has a nice little foil. Also, there's some texture here. This book is also linen. You've got some foil, and there's some texture on those words there. You've got a ribbon bookmark, and then also if you take off the belly band, the inside of this one, it's not as fun. It's blue, but and I'm not really sure what the size of these are. Like this orange one, it does fit in like one of my A5 covers, but it's not A5. There's a lot of space left. And then this bigger one, I can't remember what size it was, and it does not say. Yeah, it doesn't say. I'm pretty sure it says on the website, but it also says the same thing here, proudly designed in the Upper West Side of Kansas City. And then it just has their company logo embossed on the back, so Brass Monkey. And I just was like, these are beautiful, and like these are so unique because they don't really look like planners. And so wait till you see what's inside. So I will show you this orange one first. So when I saw this in Barnes and Nobles for the first time, I was just like, how fun is that part-time adult? Like, come on, there's got to be a catch to this. So I opened it up. Of course, you have I was pleasantly surprised that the paper is kind of thin, so I will test out some of the markers and stuff that I have. Oh, that's one page. So it just says part-time adult, and it found, you can put your name or whatever, and then it says, is really sad. So it's just supposed to be like adult puns. So like if you were writing your name, it would say, it found your name, and then is really sad. So yeah. When I saw this, I was like, okay, so it's a planner, but it's just like, it's like not supposed to be as serious, but it's still pretty serious. But it'll be something fun to like open up and just joke around with. So I was just like, I liked it. I liked it for its uniqueness. What I didn't really like about this particular planner is how dark everything was. So this is what the example of the daily layout is supposed to be. So it goes 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. This one goes from 7A to 6P, and then you have your days of the week. They have it like this, where you literally write all the days of the week and then you check off which day you're on. They have some quotes in there, and then they have a little box down here where you can obviously do a doodle, or you can make a random to-do list. They tell you how you can use this planner. And then the first page is January, and every page for this particular planner will have a blank side, and then you'll have your monthly cover page where you can write the year and all that good stuff. And then it jumps into your January or your monthly at a glance. So usually it will have some inspirational stuff about like, congratulations, you made it to the month, and then the things that are typically celebrated within that month. So if it's January, okay, so this is the things that we celebrate in this month. It'll give you some fun things, some symbols and stuff for other things like birthstones. Like, I just thought it was unique in itself. And then of course you have your notable dates that are, because it is undated, the dates aren't there, but at least you know what is in that month. So yeah, so this is just like an informal page, basically like an overview of what the month is, and then this is what your monthlies look like. So honestly, I don't think that you're supposed to write over these months, so you could definitely just color them in. I would color them in if you really want to. And then yeah, something fun. I was looking for something fun and unique when I was looking for planners this year, and when I was thinking about what I wanted to do. The next page after the month is just like your list, notes, and memoirs. So basically you can make whatever to-do list you want for the month, or upcoming events for the month. So basically, instead of writing on that calendar, you could do all of that here. And then you have a space down here where you can also do stuff. And then it goes into your first daily page. So again, this is what it would look like clean. So you would have Monday through Sunday, and then you just write the days of the week and then check which day you are in, and then you do your schedule here or whatever you want to do, and then you can do a to-do list down here if you so choose. And then you can also write the year right here. So instead of writing the date, you just write the year, so that way you know which year you're using this planner in. Now this particular planner goes like this all the way through until the next month, and then the next month will look the same as the first month, and it'll just run through like that completely. There's no extra bells and whistles with this particular planner. I did kind of look to see, like, does this planner offer anything extra outside of just the daily pages? But it does not. Yeah, so it's just the dailies, the months, and that's it. So that was this one. Super, super fun. Nice little chunky, hard. And it's really nicely built. It's really nicely built. I like it a lot. I know some people might not like this because it's dark, it's creamed, and they might not like the way that this looks, but I think that this could be like really fun. So this was book 1. Book 2, I thought was even better because this one is just a little bit bigger. It's thinner. So this one's a chunky boy, and then this one is like a chunky boy, but it's like thinner. Much thinner profile and easy to carry. That was what I was also looking for too, like what's easy to carry. This one has, I think, even thinner paper, and this one goes into your opening page. The colors in here are just so nice with this cream paper. That's why I was just like, I don't know if I want to use that common planner now, because these are so beautiful and so unique in themselves. So of course you have your disclaimer pages and all that good stuff. So you have like a few little pages. So it says right here, this planner is dedicated to all of the other things that we probably could have accomplished in the time that we spent on it. And then it says, we'll learn how to play that saxophone someday. So okay, and then you go into this, shows you how to use the planner. Just like the first book, shows you how to use the planner. It looks like these pages got slightly glued together from just binding, stitching, or whatever. So yeah, you have your 2 days on one page, and it still has a timeline, and then you have a small section over here for notes. So basically it goes from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. and then you can write the year apparently in the corner here, and then it just tells you the same thing, like this is how you can use this planner. And then it goes into your month. So it kind of looks just like the part-time adult planner. This one also stays open a lot better than this one because this one is a lot thicker. I think the paper is just a little bit bigger, or I'm sorry, I think the paper is just a little bit thicker, but yeah, you can train it to stay open. So comparisons together, I think the paper in this book is just a little bit lighter of a cream. I think this one is just darker of it, like a more yellowy of a cream, but the colors in this one look so much better. I wish they would have did the colors like that for this, or at least a fun color or something for this, but they're still really nice. So you have your cover page, and then in this one, opposed to the smaller one, so in the smaller one, like I mentioned, you get the calendar, and then you get all of this overview stuff. But in this one, you actually get the monthly. Your monthly numbers are much lighter, so if you wanted to, you probably could write over them. They do give you space down here to write, but then you also have this overview section where you can write stuff in. And like, I like it because it's just like, it doesn't necessarily feel like a planner per se. And it doesn't, I mean, it puts the fun back into planning. So after you get past these 2 pages, in this particular one, you have a January review. And basically you have like a little section here that goes with the Venn diagram. And it just says Game of Monopoly and then month of January. I don't really care to use Venn diagrams, so I don't know. But you have that. You have a space here to do whatever. Make a list, do whatever. And then you can do a enjoyment tracker here, like how you're enjoying January. You could even use it for a mood tracker if you really, really want to. Like, just plug in what your month was like. And then you have your day. I like it because it's like not a whole lot of stress. You have your day on your 2 days on one page. This timeline goes from 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it goes back and back. You can draw a line down if you want to, or you could just highlight the hours that are most important to you. Then you have this little space over here that you could do whatever with. For some, this may be too small because a lot of people don't write really small, but I just say use thinner nibbed pens or smaller nibbed pens, like a 0.38 or something, or even a 0.28 if you have it, if you can get a hold of it. But it's like that all throughout. This book honestly comes with a few more extras. So I was flipping through and I was just like, okay, well, at first it looked like after every week they give you an extra list, notes, and memoirs page, but it's kind of just randomly sprinkled in throughout. So they aren't like, it's not in the essence of week, then this page, week, then this page. They are randomly sprinkled throughout every single month. So you'll get quite a few of these throughout the whole planner, which is good. So you have like things to write, which is basically just like list, another form of whatever you could do, and then another section of whatever you could do, or you could follow the prompts if you want to. And then it goes back into the day pages. And then, like I said, you have another list, notes, and memoirs page. So the book basically looks like that all the way through. And then when you get to your next month, so let's just say we got to March, the months do look the same. You still get the same layouts for the month. And then again, you go into your days, and then you get those random list notes pages. And then at the very end of the book, here, we'll move that one. At the very end of the book, you get a few things that aren't necessarily planning pages. So you have your December, you have your last day of December, and then there's a little fun thing that you could do here. So illness is better than a champagne hangover. I don't know. Or you can make it a grocery list. So basically they're supposed to be funny prompts. So whatever you want to do, you can make this whatever you want to do. But December 31st gives you a full day on one page, because obviously that's the end of the planner, right? And then you have your December in review. I don't know if you have the reviews for every month. Let me see. Okay, yeah, so every month you will have a review page for how the month actually went. And apparently it looks like they give you some extra pages too, because like this is like 2 pages for November in review. Wow, that's nice. There's some little prompts and stuff here. That's cool. I don't know, that's why I'm kind of just like, I don't know, y'all. I'm about to be like, forget that Sterling ink planner. This is where it's at. I like this. So yeah, okay, maybe you get these pages throughout, because so far I'm seeing that you get them every month, because October also has it. Does January have it? How many days are in January? 31? Okay, so you get these review pages. You get 2 pages for review. And basically, because at the end you'll get like a little something here, and then you'll get this page. Or unless it's 30 days, then you'll get this full page and this full page. So not bad. So they do give you some extra bells and whistles with this planner. The back of this, like I said, has some things. So you have appendix, and you can date it and whatnot. And it's just like those things that most planners usually have, like measurement and conversion charts, which these are actually pretty useful. Yeah, actually pretty useful for these. And then commonly misspelled words, which that would be me, who's always asking how do you spell something. Yeah, and I see quite a few on here that I'm always like, how do you spell this? And then what is that? Morse and natal alphabet. I don't know what that is. Capitals of the United States. And yeah, just fun stuff. And then you have your important contact information, and then your honest review of what you just ate, or you could put like your year-end review, whatever you want to do with these back pages. That's what you could do. And you just have a few of them like that, where it's just like my inspirational and heartfelt poetry, or an open letter to 8-year-old me. Like, you could follow the prompts, or you could turn it into whatever you want to be. I'm going to do a pen test probably on this last page here. But yeah, I don't want to do it in this video because I feel like it's really long already. But that's the end of this planner. Super light and beautiful, and like, so even these two together, like, they're light. They're not heavy at all. I feel like this would look really nice in my bag with my Kindle. Like, I love this. I don't think y'all understand how excited I was for these two. I wasn't even this excited for the Common Planner, to be honest with you. But I love these. I bought both. I purchased, like I said, I got one from Barnes & Noble's originally, and then I purchased these two together. They were roughly inexpensive. The one I got from Barnes & Noble's was like $24. On the website, I think this one was like $14 or $15 for each one. So inexpensive. I think they run for about like 20 something odd dollars a book, but that's super inexpensive. They're really nicely built. I love the layouts of them. I think that even though it has a lot of stuff going on in them, I think that they're still pretty useful, and that you could still get a lot of stuff done using them. I think you'll be more drawn to using them. I don't know. That's just how I feel about these particular planners. I will also say that I got both of them, even though they are undated, because there are days when you want more space to do things, and then there are times when you don't want a whole lot of space. So I liked that this is like, you still get a good chunk of space, but there's not a whole lot going on. And then you have this where it's just like, okay, we got rid of all the bells and whistles, and you just have the days if you need the day. And so you still have all of this whole page. You could use this whole page for whatever. So I got both. They are undated, and I was just like, I wouldn't feel bad if I had to bounce between the two, if I had to use one for one thing and one for the other. I could have my catch-all in one and one to be whatever. So I love them. And I think these are what I'm going to be using for 2026. And I'm really, the one that I'm really excited about is this one right here. I really like this one. I kind of want to put tabs on it, and at the same time I don't, because when you put tabs on it, then that means like it's solidified, like you're going to use it. But since they already dated each section with the actual month name, I wouldn't feel too bad about adding tabs to it. But I don't know, because like, I think the tabs would just take away from the actual book look. You know what I mean? So anyway, I'm rambling. These are beautiful. You let me know what you think down below. The last thing that I'm going to update you guys in this video is I did sit down and I had printed out the 3-ring binder stuff. I said that I wanted to redo this binder, so I did go ahead and I got busy. I printed out all of these things, laminated a bunch of things for a 3-ring binder. I will just say that what I decided to put in it was health and wellness stuff. So like, oh, health, wellness, and book stuff. So these are weekly exercise trackers and sleeping stuff. Like, I'm just rambling about what's in here and like my ambitions and goals for health and wellness. I think that that's what this binder would be better suited for. I'll update you guys on this. But they're printables, so they're undated also, except for like the monthlies and whatnot. So if I don't actually end up going this route for like tracking my health and wellness stuff, because I can't do the 3-ring binder. I can't do it on a daily basis. That was just too much to keep up with. But if I end up going that route, then I will let you guys know for sure. But this is what I've got going on. Do I need 3 planners? No. 2 are undated and 1 is just dated. Like I said, whatever ones I'm just gonna give it away. The common planner I like, and then once I got these, I kind of was just like, I like these more than I like this common planner. I feel like the common planner is just, everybody knows about it, everybody uses it the same way, and I just wanted to push away from that and get something completely out of left field. And this is so unique, and nobody is using something like this. This is so fun. Oh, this is so fun. I just want to use it like right now and just test it out. But I'm going to wait. But I like it. You guys let me know what you think down below in the comments. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Let me know. What will you be using for 2026? The mystery is a mystery. So yeah, that's it for me. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye, loves.